Can anyone tell me what's going on? Like really, there are so many things to talk about that I'm not covering the topics fast enough. But more importantly, it is not just drama and bad things anymore. We got an awesome new cinematic where I made an oopsie because I forgot that Sion killed Jarvan the First and not Jarvan the Second. I'm getting old. LeBlanc got new lore-heavy voice lines. I still wanna talk about TFT's new set. There's been a massive update to League's Mythic store, but most importantly for today, LeBlanc got the new VGU, we got a new batch of godly skins, and above all, what is that? So let's not lose time and let's have a look at what is actually going on. So, a new update hit PBE, and of course, looking at the date, it is all about April Fools. In some of the previous PBEs, we were able to data mine some cool things. For example, there were some new icons for new dragons. Well, now it turns out that there's gonna be a new party dragon. Whatever that's gonna do. And we also saw a new icon for a Garen Pangu. Now, for a while, people thought that this would be related to a TFT. But nope, it turns out this was the in-game icon for a champion you normally see in League of Legends. Specifically, it was for a new skin for Garen, which comes with a twist, because this is all part of April Fools, and we have no idea what it is. What we do know is that this is gonna be a free, temporary skin, and it should only be available for the duration of the April Fools event. Which is really sad, but at the same time, let's not pretend like this is the cleanest thing under the sun. I mean, you can clearly see that they retargeted the skeleton of the Pangu from TFT onto Garen's skeleton. Meaning that Garen is reusing some of Pangu's animations from TFT. Mainly you can see this in his recall animation as well as some of his emotes. Those are the exact same animations he has in TFT. So don't worry, Riot did not make new animations for this, while also not giving new animations for the other skins. On top of this, his attack animations are also reversed in this matter, meaning that it is the Garen animations on top of the Pangu mesh. Which makes me wonder just how much cleaning up happened with these animations. But of course, the main point everyone is talking about here is that this skin has completely wrong proportions. At least specifically for Garen. So while it would be cool if this became a permanent skin, the fact is that silhouettes and readability are still Riot's priority, despite the fact that some skins are allowed to ignore that in order to sell more skins. But we can all agree that this skin specifically is far beyond the definition of readability. It is a completely different character. So yes, I understand why this is only limited, but it's still amazing to see that Riot is doing something similar to the old Draven heads from one of the older events. With that said, of course, there are a lot of people who would still like to see this become a real skin. And in fact, while the readability is horrible, Riot is willing to listen and take some notes. If you ask me, it seems like people really want this to become a real skin. And honestly, you can just scale Pangu around for him to fit into the Garen silhouette at least a little bit more. And yes, we are also at a point in the game where fun should take priority over the competitive scene. So, if people really want to see this become a real skin, you can try to Rebel. It worked for Hextech chests. But thankfully, outside of this temporary skin, April Fools is also getting some other real skins too. And this time, they are incredible. And I mean all of them. In fact, they are all so good, it makes me wonder, what the heck was that? How is it possible that we get from those and those to this? They are not even in the same galaxy. So, let's break them all down. Starting with one of the smaller skins, Pool Party Malphite. Now, this skin really solidifies my confusion. In many ways, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to compare the popularity of Malphite to someone like Alistar, right? So how is it possible that Alistar got this and Malphite got what might be his best skin yet? No, really, this is wild. The model looks crazy and the visual effects are nuts. His basic attack splash water. His Q throws a life ring. His W engulfs his hands in bubbles of water, and he spreads the water like a tidal wave with the cleave. His E is a massive sand explosion, and his ultimate lets him surf into action to build a sandcastle. Speaking of which, his passive is the sandcastle on his back, and when it pops, it reveals water underneath it. How is this skin so cool? The only bad thing about this might be the chromas, because to be fair, after you color it, it no longer looks like sand, and it's like a weird toy or something. Hey, maybe it's one of the kinetic sands for kids or something. But also, how is it possible that this is technically the worst skin of this skin line now? Because next, there's also Grill Master Braum, which is just Braum if he really wanted to make kebabs for you. I mean, the passive is incredibly stylized. His Q throws wraps around. His shield is a small poro with a spatula. The wall is a wall of seasoned meat, and when the enemy hits it, they are slicing off pieces of kebab. With his ultimate just throwing the whole meal around. Again, why is this so good? But still staying within the food territory, we got Glizzy Nefiri. Now yes, I assume the Glizzy is the hot, trendy meme name, but I was really expecting Hot Dog Nefiri and I am disappointed. But not with the quality, because this skin is exactly what it looks like. It is an incredibly well done skin with the pack looking like the dog from The Simpsons. They have the cutest barks. Nefiri throws, I don't know what that is because I'm not really a food person, at the opponent. She marks them with hot sauce. She can also summon the pack from a hot dog. And overall, she's just hopping around, just like a Nefiri after the mid-scope update. The crazy thing about that is that she doesn't even need mind-blowing VFX. The models are absolutely enough to carry the quality of the entire skin. Somehow, it just works. And speaking of working, we also got Urgot, the Clockfather, who's also known as the plumber who is working for the Mundo Corp. Now this skin is also brimming with quality, with the most important feature being the sound effects of the plungers during his home guard. Again, how did we get here? Are these skins done in-house and the other skins are outsourced? Why is the quality just so damn high? I mean, Urgot has a toilet on each foot, his attacks splash water, his Q is a cleaning detergent, his shield is the cleanest sparkling bubble you've ever seen, and his ultimate shoots out a plunger and he drags in the enemy with toilet paper. Only for them to be flushed! Who thought of this awesome madness? Well, speaking of awesome madness, there is one more skin that blew everyone's minds. Which of course is the legendary of this skin line, and that is the cat in the box, Shaco. Now, the interesting thing here is that when this skin was first teased, there were a lot of people who did not like the idea of this skin. I mean, the presentation back in the day was very simple. It was just, hey, this is what the model looks like. We all thought it would be just another cat and dog skin, which is what we're used to. Well, I'm happy to report that the entire magic of this skin is in the animations. And now the vast majority of the players got blown away. Because again, I have no idea where this quality came from. The skin itself is just multiple cats in a suit. And because it is a legendary skin, as it should be, it also got some awesome new animations. I mean, have you seen the recoil alone? Have you heard the home guard? This is a Tom and Jerry reference. One of many. There is a lot of jokes aimed at that old cartoon. Now, the important thing to mention here is that despite this being a legendary skin, it doesn't have all new animations. Some of them are still the default animations you'll find on Shaco, but unlike it is with the Zaya skin, here the quality of everything else totally tramples that. And I think this might be the right approach for legendaries going forward. This is a balance of some awesome quality with some older animations reused from other skins wherever it makes sense. As long as the high quality beats the resourceful reusing, it's totally fine. Speaking of which, this skin also technically does have a new voiceover, because again, it is a legendary skin, but it is all just meowing. Which could be because last year there was a massive voice actor strike, so Riot wasn't able to record new voice lines, but guess what? Cats can't go on a strike. I think. And fortunately, all the meowing simply works for the skin. Anyway, this skin has a whole new crit animation for the backstabs. The sneaking around is crazy good. The boxes are of course cats in boxes. And because it is multiple cats, there are different variations of the boxes. His Q is a rainbow swordfish, and the clone is just a darker version of the skin. But when it dies, it has an animation for the cats hopping out of the suit, which to be fair is just the default animation for dying. And so all together, this is definitely the best skin Shaco got, but it also might be the best skin that League has ever seen. Especially if you are into comedy skins, this one is unmatched. It's simply absolutely nuts, and I don't understand how this came out after the Xayah legendary. And more importantly, why does this feel better than all the other exalted skins? Well, I don't know what happened, but what I do know is that these will go down as a massive success. I have not seen a single bad word on any of these. I mean, the comments are crazy. But of course, there is still one more thing that dropped. Because remember, LeBlanc also got the VGU. And so, let's have a look at that one too. Similar to the Shaco situation. When LeBlanc's new model was first revealed, people were kinda doubtful. But after it was properly revealed, I can say that most people are happy. Simply said, the new LeBlanc is an upgrade over the old one in pretty much every way. Besides one thing, as you'll see from the spell effects, it can be kinda visually busy. There is a lot going on around her when she just uses all spells at once. Anyway, the first thing we can point out is that the color scheme changed from the old gold and purple into gold and red. This could be because of something that came out of the Mbessa book. It is the same thing that might be related to Mel. So consider this somewhat of a spoiler for the Mbessa book. But historically, it seems like Noxus had a relationship with Mount Targon. And so all the golden magic likely comes from Rakor. Specifically, this is likely linked to why she even has a golden cloak, where the cloak is likely self-aware. This is why whenever LeBlanc is using a normal spell, it is golden because it is the somewhat celestial magic, and whenever she empowers it, it becomes red because suddenly it is tainted with the black rose, and so it is slightly more demonic. So it's amazing that the kit itself suddenly references a lot of hidden lore. So this is why the golden Q is quite clean, but the empowered one has demonic screaming in the background. Her W mimics a mirror being broken, with her clone having the same effect, with her empowered W adding in some rose petals and demonic runes. Her chains either have the golden clean version, or it is the red thorned chains we may recognize from Arcane. And when it explodes, it actually shows us the demonic compendium. So overall, this VGU landed pretty well. It is not that big of a difference from the older version of the champion, at least not compared to someone like Victor. And to be honest, all of her new skins are good too. So I would mark this as a big success, which is how we landed in this situation. Riot has pulled off some amazing new skins. They really made a lot of people happy. And for the first time in years, Riot actually raised the bar on the quality of their products, which is something nobody expected to see. Ever since the gacha machine hit us, things became questionable. And I can't believe that all changed when Riot released more cats.